Yo, yo, my sovereigns, what up? This is Boba Fett, uncensored on the internet, with episode 120 of Splinterlands 101. A little bit different again in the format today. We had a lot of trouble making the time zones work, and it didn't help that the website that we use to coordinate our shows, well, I'll just put in where I am and the names of the cities and it all populates. Well, it didn't take into effect daylight savings has just finished in Australia. So we had a 1 hour confusion. And as it turns out, Matt isn't going to be available till about the second half of the show. And Gio, you've got to go at about the second half of the show. So thought,
Unfortunately.
let's go with it. We'll have half the show with Gio, half the show with Matt. And like that episode with Floey, it was good too. So it was like me and Floey were catching up and then Matt joined us. And
Yeah.
so yeah, we can do
Uh,
that same kind of flavor. Yeah.
Sounds good to me. I mean, I'm easy. I'm easy. And it's
Yeah.
it's like us, we're catching up. I mean, it's been a while since we've talked one-on-one directly. So
It has actually. We should do a signal call soon. Lots to talk about. So
there
yeah.
is.
Um, yeah, we'll do that real soon. We'll get a signal call.
Yeah.
I'll walk around. Actually, I'll do it from my mobile instead of my laptop,
Oh
and I'll just
yeah.
walk
I
around and
want to
do
see the
the.
city. Yeah,
Yeah,
I want to see Guadalajara.
yeah. Cool. Guadalajara.
Guadalajara.
Yeah, sweet.
Guadalajara. Hara. Hara.
Yeah, you've been working on your.
I'm trying. I'm
Yeah,
trying. I'm doing Duolingo and
yeah.
it's been good. It's been
It is
good.
difficult to do because, I mean, the Germans do it, Arabs do it, Spanish do it with the but in English it's so soft, rose,
Mm,
red, rabbit,
mm.
and it took me. I just like practice and practice to get the because the muscles that make that sound you don't normally use them when you're speaking
Yeah,
English. I
yeah,
mean,
you
you
don't.
literally have to
Oh.
train them to do it. But once, and that's where accents and fluencies come in. It's all about training the muscles in because when you talk, I'm using my lips, my teeth, my tongue, my
Mm.
cheek, my throat, like so many things work together to make
So many
one
muscle
specific
groups.
sound.
So
Exactly.
many
Yeah.
muscle groups in the throat and the whatever the things are called in your throat and beyond.
Yeah. And I have these conversations with my students all the time when, like they said, they've been learning English for so long, they can't get rid of the accent or they're trying to, and yeah, I go right into the whole, you got to train the muscles type thing because it's so true.
Mm.
So, what's been happening with you? Like we missed you last week with Floey, and
I, I don't remember last week. I, yeah, no, yeah, I don't know. Well, what happened? I don't remember.
lost
Why
time.
wasn't I there? No,
Well, have
why wasn't I there? I
I don't
don't.
know. Have a look in Green Room 119 on the
All
Discord
right.
server. Yeah, um, but yeah. So I think it's still uh, in convers. I mean, you know me, I don't go into Mavs because can't be bothered. But conversation topic is still around Glint. Um, because I've actually
Um,
been accumulating because I haven't spent any glint yet, and it's it's coming along nicely.
nice. How much you got at the
Let's have a
moment?
look. So I've got 237k, and with
237.
3 days left in the season, 110 for the season.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean that nerf that they did sucked because I had a ridiculous amount of glint, 750,000 or something. Um, but yeah,
Yeah.
it's coming along. I
Yeah.
haven't been spending any of it. Yeah. What about yourself?
I have actually spent
Of course you
maybe
have.
all up. I've spent maybe 400k glint. But I have funded that by burning or yeah, by
Burning
swapping
your
the
excess
soulbound
reward cards for
for glint.
glint. Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I've been able to stay above that million glint.
Hmm.
And each season it says at the current rate in Champion 2 Wild at a rating of 4,080, I'll be getting 130k season end reward glint. So maybe they'll bump up just a little bit in the next 3 days and 15 hours.
Yeah.
while we wait for end of season.
Hmm.
But yeah, no, what I'm really looking forward to is I think around end of season, I'm not sure if the changes are here or the next season after this one.
Yeah.
Uh, rarity draw packs or like yeah,
Which
so
everyone
rarity
was
draw.
asking for from the beginning.
Mm,
Yeah. Excellent.
exactly. That's what I'm waiting for now. But still, I like to use my I still do the draws like every season I buy like the first draws of each of the batches.
Yeah.
So yeah, because it's still cheap. It's like the batch one, but I try not to get above like the batch two, batch three, like that's a bit too much, especially for master draws and epic draws.
Yeah.
So with the new changes, the commons, rares, and epics look like a good price, but obviously they had to pump up the price for the legendary draws up to 25K. It's a little bit steep, but hey, like I guess you need less legendaries than you do the rest of the other cards. So,
And think of it like
you
that's
know,
quite a. I mean, I'm surprised that they actually did that because
same.
a legendary is supposed to be, oh my God, I've got a legendary.
But
And
it's a soulbound legendary. It's different.
yeah, but like when you're buying a pack and you know you're going to have legendaries type thing, I thought they
Mm,
might go up to epic. I'm surprised they actually did do legendary. Um,
mm,
but it's a good thing because that's what everyone's going to need. I mean, I've got some cards that I've almost got two maxed of,
nice.
and then there's my epics and legendaries that are sad looking. So so you've just been basically buying the master sets, keep what you need, burn what you don't.
I will show you.
Okay,
I have been, well, sorta. No, I've been buying it all. Like, I've been buying it all. Where are we? Shop.
shop, yeah,
Yeah.
and then rewards,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes. Yes. So right here, as you can see, I've bought into batch two, or well, the veteran ball I bought into batch three. But after batch two, it's a little bit steep, like
I
batch
didn't even
seven. So
realize that they were back because I haven't spent any. I saw like obviously
yeah,
initiate, adept, veteran, etc., but I never noticed the batch numbers. So
yeah.
what's that about?
So um, yeah. So with each batch, after you purchase 10 draws, it goes up a batch, and it just
Okay,
gets more expensive. It just costs you more glint
right.
every time you go up a tier, a batch tier.
Okay,
And
gotcha.
that's essentially it. But as you can see, like, I've raised it a little bit. Even like the merits, I'm in batch four now, just to get 2,000 merits, right? So yeah, so I just wait like, every season for it to drop. But I
Yeah.
think it's next season. I really hope the rarity draws in. I know I haven't really looked into the latest town hall, so yeah, that's my bad, but yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, I haven't bought energy yet. I may need to buy some potions eventually. I mean,
Yeah.
they're not that, it's not that much.
It's going to be a while though before I can even like buy packs. So
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't want to waste potions on reward cards. Um, like if I'm opening a pack that I've paid for, that's when I want my potions. So um, yeah, I've
yeah,
opened all of my Chaos Legion. I've opened all my Rift Watches. So I need to
yeah,
build
yeah.
up a hodl stack of those again. Because yeah, when they changed all the rules about the automatically going up, and all of a sudden it was like,
Yeah,
oh no, now I need
I
because I
know.
I leveled everything at gold. That's all I needed. So then I needed to start maxing stuff, and it was just became my main priority.
Yeah,
So yeah.
yeah. Well, as for again, since we're on the soulbound train,
Hmm.
um, all I need are these. So I need amongst 13 amongst legendaries and epics, I need 13 cards to max out. Yeah, so there's sort of, a few cards off here,
Hmm.
a few cards there. Where are we? Two cards off here, and I'm waiting to see so if I get this card in a regular foil first, like maxed
Yeah.
out, I'm burning the gold.
Oh
But if
no.
I Yeah, no, no, that's what I've been doing. That's how I've been killing the glint, man. Like that's
But
how I've got so much. It's
I can understand like burning a gold foil gladiator because like a gold foil legendary gladiator, for example, like you're never, ever, ever, ever going to max that, right? So your highest
mm,
one,
mm.
which is automatically going to be played, is going to be your regular foil maxed, right? But with the reward cards, like these are cards that eventually are going to be on the market. And some of these are going to have some incredible value, way more than you're going to burn these for. Whereas the gladiator cards are never going to be on the market, you know? Yeah,
Stranger things have happened. Yeah, we
uh,
can't. I just think we're in so much of an unknown with the direction in which the game will be headed. In
yeah,
where we're going as a game.
yeah,
I don't know, man. I'm just doing what makes sense now. And since they're soulbounds, I don't plan on actually unlocking any cards for any money, like for DC or anything. I just want a maxed out set. So
yeah,
that's where my idea of this is at. Like I just want a maxed out soulbound set, and I'm not caring about unlocking all the rarity
uh-huh,
of them.
yeah,
So as long as I can get um as long as I can max this set out and I can use these gold foils depending on which one I get first with the draws.
yeah,
I can use these these gold foils to fund more glint into actually getting the cards to max the set out.
yeah.
That's the way I'm looking at it. I don't care about the rarity. I don't care about the potential future unlocks, and because when that time comes, the unlock price may be like really steep,
Hmm.
and rightfully so, right? We don't want these cards flooding the market. And then let's say the people who do pay for the unlocks do, sell a few, and then they're going to be exorbitantly high anyway. I don't think many people are just going to buy them. I just don't think the normies are going to buy them at least.
Yeah,
And that's not the. I think I said this a while back. I'm not playing whale games. I
yeah.
just want, I'm just scraping the bottom of the barrel here. I just want to try and make the most of what I got and get by. Yeah, like
But
that's my
these
approach.
these reward cards, like once they're finished and then the next set after Rebellion comes out, the people coming into the game at that point, they're not going to have any of these cards and they're never going to be able to get any of these cards. So that's where the
True.
value is going to come from. And this is
Yeah.
the we're some say we're in, some say we're getting there, whatever. But regardless, the bull run's not far away, right? Um, so a lot of the new people coming into the game are going to be crypto like financed. So they're going to be like wanting invest. They're going to have an idea of the bull runs by then at the cycle. So they want to be part of something that's making them some money while they're in that run. So yeah, I think that's where the value of these reward cards will come, are the people who come in after they've stopped being issued, and the only way to get them is to buy them off someone. But I also see your point in
Yeah.
that now that everyone, like we were looking, well, us at least anyway, like account consolidation. I retired my bronze account, shuffled, leveled, like, so I've only
Yeah.
got two
Yeah.
accounts, but my second account is still a feeder for my main account, Boba Fett.
Yeah.
So, like, if you're consolidating that one account that's playing at champion every season, then you never actually need to unlock them. If you've got a maxed set, like there's no need because those cards are always going to be in that deck.
Yeah. That's the way
Mhm.
I'm looking at it. See, I'm trying to make it so there's less steps for me to for me to follow. I'm very basic. I just want a max set of soul bounds, and I
Mhm.
will cut off any of the fat to get them.
Yeah,
So that means excess cards or cards, even gold foils, doesn't matter. I'm not discriminatory against the rarities and then the foils and the hollow cards, whatever. I'm just getting rid of everything that makes sense.
hmm,
So the first copies that I get maxed out, whether that be gold foil or regular, I'm burning the opposite. So as you can see, the Terrakia's Hulk, I got gold foil first, and I burnt actually all my regular foil.
Yeah.
of Terrakias. It's like, okay, the gold foil made it first. That's the RNG natural law of this game and how it worked out. It gave me this gold foil legendary first. All right, so
Yeah.
let's burn the regular. Again, now I'm waiting to see if I get, if I'm able to max this out in gold foil or the barracks, then I'll burn the regular. And if the opposite happens, I mean, I'm kind of hoping for the opposite. I want to burn the gold foil legendaries just so it gives me more glint,
Yeah.
so I can fund the next set.
But could you
Yeah,
imagine, like, even like with Tenacious Hulk, even with the regular foil maxed, so if if you kept them both, even with the
mm.
regular foil maxed, that's going to be worth a lot to someone coming into the game
But
post
you'd hope that like we still get that
attraction.
same
Yeah.
engagement attraction.
Hmm.
Yeah. See, I'm not trying to think about like I'm not thinking too far ahead. I'm just thinking about now and what I want to do,
Yeah.
within. But yes, it would pay off hypothetically if you do wait and things turn out in that way too. Like,
Yeah.
the new play experience slowly turns out to be awesome, and we get a whole lot of people flooding in at the perfect time of like the markets when they're upticking and SPS goes up and everything goes up, and it's like a beautiful, you
Crypto's
know,
trending on TikTok.
yeah, and it's Splinterlands
Yeah.
even. Let's say this
Yeah.
game just blows up, then yeah, I guess you're gonna wish that you kept all those, and then you can unlock them, and then because people have them up, those particular cards up on the market for way more, and they're actually being bought. I mean, yeah, it could be a really good day, but for me, these are just these are just soul bounds, man. Like,
Yeah. But how many other
it's
people are burning it? If there's a lot of people trying to do exactly the same thing you're trying to do, that's going to like add value to those that people still have them because there's going to be a lot less of them on the market.
yeah,
Um,
but that's good. That's good. It's good for everyone if there's people like me burning. I mean, I don't care. Like,
but
again, they're soulbounds. How
but
much
not
is it
not
gonna,
good for
you
you
know?
though, is what I mean.
Yeah, but I mean, look, I have a list here of how many Terrakious Hulks there are and everything. Rewards
Okay.
cards.
Yeah.
There are. Can we see how much? So legendaries, normal gold foil. So yeah, there's 39,403 Beric Snake Eyes. Uh, where's can I choose just legendaries? No, you cannot. Yeah, 39,000 Skocks. These are legendaries I'm looking at,
Yeah.
and these are commons. The gold foils is okay. Where are we? Kulu Mastermind. Yeah, so in the 39,000 range, the gold BCX, I think a lot have burnt them. Like they're pretty low, 3,000. Uh, Avis, yeah, 3,000 gold foils left, 39,000. 39,000 regular foils.
Yeah.
Drybone Radiator, 39,000 regular foils, 3,000 gold foils. Interesting.
So that tells me do not sell your golf oils.
Again, I don't want to put more fiat into this to unlock cards that I've already attained by playing the game. And,
Yeah.
yeah, like if we do get the crazy run again, yeah, people are going to pay $600, but we're not seeing that at the moment.
Hmm.
Like people can't even sell a maxed out kitty for, I guess, not many are buying or in the market for a maxed out kitty for $600, like
Yeah.
where back then people were paying 5K for a kitty. Again, in markets, maybe things tick the opposite direction, and there's a lot of engagement and attraction again. And I don't know, man. Like, yeah, I'm just thinking about now for the moment.
Hmm.
And I just want, like, I love the game. I love Soulbound. That's why I want to max out the Soulbound set. And
Yeah.
I'm thinking about future sets as well. Like, if I'm not burning, then it's going to take me ages and ages to get Glint to get a head start on the next set as well.
Yeah. No,
So I
I
don't, yeah,
totally see your point, and my counter argument isn't based on anything other than FOMO. It's
yeah,
like we just because like I said, we don't know. We don't know.
yeah,
Is it FUD? Is it FOMO? It's like I we could be a year from now talking about that, saying, "Oh, geez, I wish I'd burned all mine."
yeah,
We don't know.
yeah. We actually don't know. And again,
Yeah.
like Yeah, yeah. I'm just thinking about soulbounds as soulbounds and nothing
Yeah,
more. I'm not thinking about all the extra steps to unlock them and the cost of unlocking. I'm just thinking, okay, these are locked to my account, and that's how I'm treating them.
yeah,
That's how I'm looking at it. Yeah.
gotcha.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, no, I hope soon to max my soulbound set out so then I can burn. Or actually, I don't have really that much to burn now. So the only ones that will be burning are um either extra epics that I get that already have maxed out, which aren't going to give me much in glint terms,
Hmm.
in terms of glint, and just these two, so Sorrel and Berix, and whatever extra legendaries that I get. But yeah,
Well, why
we'll
don't you
see.
just start just for these ones, just for the hell of it, for the exercise? Keep Don't burn any of the, like
I
Berex or
could,
Sorrel,
yeah,
and that will be at least one that you hold on to. Could be worth something in the future.
true.
May or may
Maybe
not. But
maybe I'll take these as as like a a future
get
what if.
yeah, get both sets of Sorrel and Berex. Who knows?
That's fair.
Yeah.
That is fair. Yeah, okay. Could do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or if the next set comes out and I'm really FOMOing into that, I'll be
Yeah.
like, oh, I still have a gold 4 legendary here. Like
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, well,
And
that's options, isn't it? That's options.
yeah, for the next set, I think I'm gonna be focusing on legendaries first and work my way down the opposite way. So
So
focus.
is that the way the reward shop's going to work with the next set?
Oh no, it's just gonna work like rarity draws, right?
Yeah, but is it going to be for that the period where the reward cards are being issued?
Yeah.
Are the packs that you can buy for Glint going to be for that same set or for the previous set?
Ooh.
Because
Uh,
that's a big giveaway to like be picking legendary, buying a pack that you know is going to have legendary cards for cards that you've currently collecting.
hmm.
So yeah, I don't know if it would
Well, I
be.
don't think anyone would actually buy soulbound packs to hodl them. I mean, you just open them up when you really want to, for the moment, for the set that you want to max out or try to get more of. You're
Yeah.
just going to focus on that set. I don't think there's a problem with holding on to, uh, yeah. I don't think draws. Wait, are you talking about like soulbound packs? I don't think that's a thing.
No, no. So you go to the store now
Mm.
and you can buy a pack like
You can?
uh, the Masters, the Initiate, the Veteran.
Oh, they're draws. They're not packs.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
it's basically it's a pack.
Oh, yeah, but you
You
have
know.
to open it as soon as you purchase it.
Yes. So
There's no hot. Yeah.
that's right. So that's why I'm not saying that I'm hodling. What I'm saying is that you're looking at these now, right? So let's
Mm.
say we're in the next rebellion stage and um, hang on, no, okay. I was totally coming from a backward place because I'm thinking these packs are, could they be, like, whatever you open in those, could they be for the previous reward set?
I don't think so.
But
When the change happens. Yeah.
exactly, and also the fact that this is now the only way to get reward cards. I completely forgot. There's no more
Yeah.
opening them in chests. That this is the only way you're going to get them.
This
Okay,
is it.
so
This
I
is
had
it.
some corrupt code in my thought process. Yeah, so I get this. Yeah, so this is that was the missing link I hadn't put across. Something that I
Yeah,
knew but wasn't in the equation. Yeah, this is the only way to get rewards cards now.
yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah,
And I can't wait for the Rebellion Soulbound set. Like I like look, I like Soulbounds. I make most of what we have, right? Like of the situation that we're dealing with here.
yeah,
Yeah, so I can't wait to yeah, I just want to build up cards. I mean, we all just want to, play in the best possible way that we can,
yeah.
the most effective in the most
And
effective way.
especially you've got no choice now. You're going to be battling in champion by the end of the season. Um, then you need to have cards that are capable of winning at champion. So yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, when was it? I've lost six in it. Wait, okay. Wait, this is the brawl that I want. Oh, why don't we watch the brawl?
why not?
And
I'm not sure how many minutes we've got left because I don't see the clock.
we have 7 minutes.
Seven. Okay, yeah.
Okay, this is a gold brawl, and this is against
Big monsters.
CP285C. Oh yeah, he gets a chance. All right, so he's using rebelling card. Oh, ambush, yeah. Oh, okay,
Oh,
okay.
Keely's getting smashed.
I see you. Ha.
Oh, that's nice. Oh,
Okay.
trample
Oh,
and poison. He's gone.
yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
you've got this.
GG. GG.
And your Bakjira is only level 3. Oh no, is he limited to level 3 because of the brawl?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
The gold brawls. Yeah.
yeah. Wow,
Oh,
he didn't even get any bloodlust. That was brutal.
that was that was beautiful to
That
watch.
was brutal. How many Gladius cases? Are you still hodling Gladius cases
Oh,
or
yeah. Sure am. Let's go open. And this is all that I have. 9
9?
at the moment. And I'm safe. I want to open up when I got like 50 or 100.
Yeah,
Yeah, because right now I'm at the levels where um it's gonna take a lot of packs to get to to get the cards that I have to the next level.
yeah,
So I might as well just wait it out and save up merits and then purchase packs and then open them up all at once. And
yeah.
maybe my luck will be a little bit better. I don't know. Like maybe opening in bulk is just better.
Like when we open packs for Matt, and this is every second or third card's a gold foil or a legendary, and it's like,
Exactly.
man, yeah,
Exactly. And yeah, at the moment I'm just saving up my glint for when we get the draws, and then I guess we'll talk about how these draws are in the next set, and maybe I'll be like, oh, I'm finally on the road to maxing it out, and it feels more fair because now I'm only getting that particular rarity. I don't need commons, I don't need rares because I got them maxed out. All I need is, it's good. Yeah.
how are you getting so much glint?
So I burnt a shit ton of soul bounce initially.
Ah, okay, but yeah, because I'm looking at my glint compared to your glint now, and I'm thinking like,
Yeah,
that's a huge difference. Yeah,
yeah. Because if you were to like own soul bounce, there's
yeah,
legendary
I'm
card.
not burning soulbound cards.
Yeah, so if you were to, you would have more maybe. You'd
Yeah,
probably have more,
yeah,
So yeah, that's how you do it.
that's how you do
Um,
it. That's how you
that's
roll.
yeah. As you can see, I don't have really any fat outside of these two, the Golf or Legendaries.
Yeah,
Like I've cut all the fat off. Like there's no fat here.
yeah,
Besides, like again, these two cards.
yeah, yeah,
Actually, a part of me does regret because I did burn like rare gold foils, soulbounds that were so close to maxing, and when I was opening some draws, I actually did get those cards that would have completed the gold foil set,
yeah,
but eh,
yeah,
whatever.
yeah. Well, once you've made that decision, you can't regret it. You just
No,
it's a downward spiral from there. Once you've made a decision, you just got to accept I made the decision, and whatever happens after that is arbitrary. Yeah,
yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah, that's just a whole lot of sharing. What about
yeah.
you, Bob?
Uh, I haven't burned any glint. I'm just waiting to see what changes come in and whatever, and then like use everything that I've got in one hit type thing. Um,
Mm,
so yeah, rather than buy something now and then, like something better gets offered later on, because we're still in that introductory phase. Yab has
yeah,
said, there will be adjustments, there'll be things. So I'm going to wait to see what direction adjustments move in, and then I'll sort of make a bulk purchase with McGlint. Yeah.
Yeah, that's sort of what I'm up to now. I'm just sitting on my hands pretty much. Not, Um, I did actually make a few purchases in the last month. I think I've bought a few Rift Watcher cards.
Okay.
I think that's the same. I think we spoke about that last time.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, so I'm actually quite happy with the prices of like Chaos Legion and Rift Watchers. I know many aren't happy because a lot of us bought in 21, in 2021 when, car prices were a lot more. But
Yeah.
no, now it's pretty cheap, man. Yeah, it's good,
But you
you
got to
know.
look at that timing as well. Like it was just the market when no one knows how long really it's going to last, the bull or the bear. Um,
Yeah.
so and everyone was excited. We were like you know, doing shit with crypto at the time. It's like can't lose type stuff.
Yeah.
Um, and then there's the dip, and you think, oh, okay, I'll wait or whatever. Then there's another dip and another dip, and you put in recovery trade. There's another, but you don't know it then. But that the bear market's already started. But it's always too late by the time you know. And it's the same when the bull comes. But you just got to do what you can with what you've got when you've got it. And
That's it. That's
what
all you
one
can do.
day, like a surfer waiting on his board, one day you're going to catch your wave, as long as you're still out there with your surfboard.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Ugh.
All right. We won't get to say goodbye at the end, so let's say goodbye now. Uh, but good to talk to you again. Let's talk on
Yeah.
Signal real soon.
Yeah, we'll do that.
And after the break, we'll be back with Matt.
What an wish I was around for that. I
Well,
want
if
to
you
be
got
around,
if you
but
got time, if and you're a little bit behind schedule and waiting on other people or whatever, you can jump on for 5, 10 minutes. Do so.
I might. I might. Well, I guess take care. This is the end of the road for this week.
All right. So you'll see Geo next week, and you'll see Matt. And here we are, part two. As mentioned, Geo had to go. We got our trusty website that's helped us through all these episodes with time zones. Didn't take into effect Australia's daylight savings, so we couldn't coordinate. So you had Geo in part one. Now Matt's here for part two. Finest gentleman who ever lived. Welcome,
Howdy,
Matt.
howdy. Hi. Yeah, so Gio's got a heap of glint. That sounds pretty cool. And if you saw the town hall, the coming up, we've got being able to buy edition specific drawers, which is
Which is
great.
what everyone wanted from the beginning. Yeah.
Exactly, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So look, I'm happy to get the wrong epic or the wrong legendary. But yeah, when you save up for the top level draw and it's just a couple of commons and a rare, or it's like I know that statistically that's just the way it works, but it doesn't help the it doesn't help to take the angst out of it. So yeah, I'm
Exactly.
glad we're going in that direction with more because like a lot of people have said, they've got one BCX of Vizier, which is the case for me. And you just lose to him over and over again, and there's literally nothing you can do. You
Yeah.
throw money at the problem till you blew at the face, and it's too bad it's not happening. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I've been stockpiling my glint for a while now. I had been focusing a lot on. I need one more BCX of Quora, so the ability to use glint to buy merits has been like, yeah, this is great. But now I'm up to level 3 or 4 or something, and it's like really expensive. You're not getting much merits for your glint. The other
Yeah.
thing is too, I've been fastidious in having both potions for merits. But when I'm looking at it thinking I don't want a legendary, I want an epic, I'd hate to think that a legendary potion or whatever power stone has actually cost me like that was going to be that legendary I just got was going to be Quora, but instead of the legendary you're never going to use. So yeah, that's been sort of playing on my mind. Like, do I continue to use potions for everything for all the Gladius packs? But yeah, all good, all going well at my end. Slow and steady wins the race. Went past 3.5 million SPS staked, which I'm very happy with. That's sort of been on the horizon for a while. I'd like to get to sort of 4 million by the end of the year. The voucher price kind of keeps holding up, and the SPS price stays low. I'm thinking maybe it's time to move away from focusing on CL packs and start selling vouchers into just buying more SPS. There's a swap pool for it, I think, as well, voucher SPS. I've
Okay.
actually got a position. So yeah, just plodding along. I guess it's just another. Yeah, it was good to see the town hall. Few really good, interesting questions and answers raised. The big one at the moment, I think, is, and it's sort of background. It's not glamorous, but the treasurer positions, the 11 treasurer positions for the multi-sig transactions for the DAO. So I've just decided 10 minutes ago that I'm going to put my hand up for one of those roles. It's a lot of responsibility, but I also think it's something that I'd rather put my hand up for than have somebody else sort of less well known and well trusted do it. So yeah, I had kind of thought, well, this will be an opportunity for other people to jump in and make a name for themselves and move up in the world of Splinterlands. And you kind of don't want to pull the ladder up behind yourself by just, well, I'll just apply for everything. Then I'm going to be a witness, and I'm going to be whatever else comes up. I'm already a guild leader and a significant land holder and a significant SPS holder. And so you kind of want to leave the door open for other people to jump into these spots and get some of the fame and notoriety and go on the podcasts and the like. But there doesn't seem to be much appetite. We've only had 3 or 4 applications so far for 11 positions. So I kind of feel like since nobody else is diving on the opportunity, I'll do it. But B, if we end up with only 12 or 13 candidates, then there's potentially some low quality ones going to sneak in there because we need 11 people, so we pick the best 11. I'd like to see 55, and then only the top 20% get in. I really thought there'd be a lot more pushing and shoving for the role, but I figure it's been a few days now. If nobody else is putting their hand up, then that's something I'll do. So I'll get to work and put my post up shortly. When we finish recording, I'll put my post up and put my hand up for that. It's a really interesting concept, the idea that you can, like, it's almost, I'm thinking, how does that even look on a resume? You got to explain so many underlying concepts to somebody before they can even understand what that even is. Treasurer for a distributed autonomous organization. But by the same token, you're not actually making any decisions, right? You're just enacting the decisions made by the DAO, which is made by the people holding the governance token. I was having a chat with my son about it. I was just driving him somewhere. He's playing paintball with his mate. And I said, what's really interesting is if the treasurers were to hold themselves in a kind of veto position where they say, well, yeah, okay, the stakeholders voted for this, but we're not really sure, or we're choosing to be coy over some minor point, to basically become a roadblock, then that would undermine, I think, the value of the SPS token, because it's real selling point, right? The buy case for the SPS token is the more of this to buy, the more what you think matters, right? The louder your voice gets. But we don't want to be in a position where we say, hey, look, if you buy all this SPS and then something comes up and you really like it and you vote for it with all the SPS, maybe you buy some more to strengthen your vote, then what will happen is it'll go to this committee of 11 people who will decide if they're going to pass the transaction. It's like, no, that can't be the way that we do this. That's not a good value proposition for SPS. What it needs to be is, okay, are we certain there's been no man in the middle rubbish here? Nobody's colluding, nobody's collaborating. This is the will of the people. Is this exactly what they voted for? Is this, does the transaction match the proposal? Right? There could be a proposal up to do A, but the transaction is actually to do A-ish. Right? So there's a line there where we need to say, is this what they voted for? And if, like, not get hung up on minor points, but also not let major discrepancies go through. So there is a wisdom piece there where it's like, okay, I am a servant of the DAO. My role is to just not rubber stamp, but approve these transactions and say, yes, this transaction has my approval, but it's the approval delegated to me by the voting public based on their SPS stake. And so to find that balance, is this proposal exactly as it was proposed? Is the transaction exactly what the proposal was?
Mm-hmm.
So that, I think, to me will be a thing, because if there's any subjectivity in the proposal, then whoever's taking that proposal and turning it into a transaction, they have a lot of wiggle room to fashion and sculpt that transaction to be what they want it to be. So I'm kind of
lying with statistics.
That's right. That's absolutely right. And
Yeah.
I again, talking to my son the other day, and I said, I want you to have a think about the way somebody could lie to you through statistics. And this is it's a bit of an aside, but it's a fun example. I said to him, imagine the coroner gets up on the TV in front of 3 million people, and he says, okay, I've been the coroner for 30 years. I've kept meticulous records, and I've noticed a trend that anyone who's ended up on my table, they've died, who's under 45, so this is young deaths, 30% of them have tattoos. And the general population, only 10% of them has tattoos. So I've discerned that if you want to triple your chances of dying young, that go and get yourself a tattoo, and that's a really dangerous thing to do. I said to him, now imagine that you've seen that on TV, but what you don't know is that this coroner is retiring. He's done his 30 years and he's retiring, but one of his investments is to buy a large stake in a tattoo removal franchise nationwide. And he's got all his stats and his figures, and he's not up there serving us. He's not reading a story off the numbers. He's writing a story with the numbers. I said, what questions could you ask yourself to say, what is he not saying? What stats is what is he misrepresenting here? And my lad said, well, he said, first off, correlation is not causation, which I said, yep, that's entirely true. So that, being a reckless individual can lead to early death and can also lead to, poorly thought out tattoos. That's true. But just from a purely statistical perspective, what else? And he's like, oh, I don't know. And I said, well, you think about it. Why did he compare under 45s on his table with the rest of the population? Why not with under 45s? Because he knows that maybe 18% of under 45 have tattoos. He doesn't want that. He wants that big discrepancy there, right? That big, that tripling. So then he knows that there's a lot of old people who don't have tattoos because they weren't popular back then. So he's going to say, well, compared to 10% in the general population. But you should be saying, what if you're comparing these two things? They should be otherwise as closely aligned as possible. Yeah. If you want to say under 45s on my table with tattoos compared to under 45s who are not on my table with tattoos, not just compared to the general population. So I said he smuggled that in there. And then we went through and all sorts of different, so why is he defining young as under 45? I said, because he's got a chart where he's mapped it all out, and 45 is the key figure, is the age that makes the most compelling argument for his case. Yeah. That's why he's chosen under 45. You could just as easily say under 60s. You could just as easily say under 32, right? Because the masses just sit there and it's dangerous to get a tattoo, right? Because they're not thinking cynically. They're not thinking, why is this guy saying what he's saying? And I said, but there's other things too that he's been completely honest. You ordered his books and everything he's said is completely true, but he's misleading you as to the nature of truth. I said, there could be a trend. Maybe there's a trend 20 years ago that cancer survivors got, I'm a cancer survivor tattoo, right? Mm-hmm. Unfortunately for a lot of those, it comes back and then they die 10, 15 years later. Well, now they've died with a tattoo. That's increased their chance. Like, no, the actual cause of death caused the tattoo in that case, right? For those people, the tattoo didn't cause the cause of death. The cause of death caused the tattoo. Or maybe there was a gang that was big years ago, right? They
wiped each other out.
Yeah, and they all had gang tattoos. Now, an honest person would say, well, look, if you're getting a tattoo, it might increase your chances of dying young by 50%. If you're getting this specific gang tattoo, then your chances of dying young go right through the roof, because he knows that these are gangbangers, they're full of bullets, and they've got that one tattoo. He's not going to do that, right? He's up on TV. He's like, hey, come to my tattoo removal clinics because it's dangerous and reckless to get a tattoo. So, when you say lying with statistics, that's a bit of an aside from what we were talking about before, but that was just yesterday. I was talking to Henry about that, and I said, the more you look at it and the more you dig deep, the more ways there are to lie with statistics, and the more you need to say, okay, are you providing your full data set, right? All of the ages, all of the details of everybody, and then even then, what categories did you remove before you included before you said this is the full data set. So, and what data did you not collect in the first place because of your ideological dispositions or whatever else? Maybe you didn't categorize people by religious affiliation or by whatever else, because that can skew the numbers as well. Even the fact that generally if you get a tattoo, it's there for life, right? That can matter too, because there's the older you get, the more chance there is that at some point in the past you got a tattoo, right? So that then, yeah, it's just, like I say, there are so many different variables that can go into twisting and distorting the truth by using completely actual and factual figures. So
Yeah.
lies, damned lies, statistics.
Yep. Like we've been getting on the 6 o'clock news for as far back as there's been a 6 o'clock news.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Distortion.
The big focus at the moment is on violence against women. Women being killed by their significant other or a man that they know or a man that they have history with, like not stranger on stranger violence, but a man killing a woman that he knows. And I found the discourse really interesting because it's all about men are the problem. You guys are the problem. And yet when they say that, they give us no authority over solving the problem, right? So it's like saying, oh, there's been all these bus crashes, but you're not allowed to drive buses. But you're responsible for all the bus crashes. But you're not allowed to have any say over how we drive buses or how the drivers are trained or the way the buses are designed and laid out. You can't have any say. It's like you're just the bitch who has to be responsible for everything, but you're not allowed to have any say, any influence over anything at all, right?
Yep.
But it's all your fault. That's like it's just silly. It's not even hurtful. It's just silly.
Yeah.
Right? When you say, oh, well, look, there was a case and it's horrific, but a guy a few years ago now broke up with his wife. They had 2 young daughters. He accosted her in a 4-wheel. I think it was in Sydney somewhere. Accosted her in a 4-wheel drive. She was in a 4-wheel drive. He was on foot, and he splashed some petrol in the car and then lit them all on fire, and they all died together. Like just 2 young girls, I think 2 or even 3 young girls. The wife, all of that, and she'd had a AVO out against him. She'd had all sorts of trying to get away from him, and there had been a contentious and angry and bitter breakup. I thought everything that society and government have said will fix this problem had been tried. The AVO was there, the secure counselling, everything was there. The only thing that would have prevented this thing from happening is a bullet in the face. Right?
Yeah.
That's literally the only thing that would have stopped this guy. And it is somewhat frustrating in that when I say this, people say, "Oh no, more guns." It's like, well, hang on, you're not listening to the reasoning. As the problem, as a man, as the problem, I'm telling you, if it came to that, and I was completely determined to kill everyone, AVOs aren't going to stop. A piece of paper won't stop you. None of that's going to stop you. Hiding, running. The only thing that's going to stop the problem, a man like me, so listen to the problem, I'm the problem. I'm the problem, it's me. The only thing that would work then is a bullet in the face. I don't like the idea. It's horrific. Shooting their dad in front of 2 little girls is horrible, but it's not as horrible as being burnt alive. And I think she should have had the option. Because the only other option is, well, maybe we need more government programs that are completely ineffective. But when you say something like this and you say, look, she should have had that option. We knew there was an angry, violent man after her. We knew he was stronger than her, right? She's running, she's hiding, she needs all this help. If she just had a gun, this whole thing would have been solved and we'd have 3, girls that we don't have anymore, right?
Yeah.
But somehow you're a violent lunatic for wanting this. And I'm like, I'm 6'3". I should not, if I was a violent lunatic, I should want fewer guns in society, right? Because what I want, if there's no guns, then I'm the king, right?
Yeah.
I'm big. You come here, give me this. You go over there, do that, right? Guns actually disempower somebody who's large. They empower the vulnerable.
Yeah.
The weak, the vulnerable, the small petite girl who's walking home from the train station. Mm-hmm. Yet again, she'll get accosted, stabbed, and it'd be my fault when I'm the one saying she should have been armed. She should have been able to be armed. Even if she's not armed, he should be scared that she might be.
Yeah.
But I don't know. No, you're not in charge of. No, you're not in charge of this. You're just completely responsible.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Let's do that.
Yeah. That reminds me of this one again.
Yep.
Yeah.
Totally agree.
Yeah.
But this is part of moving away from it. Like I say, you can complain till you're blue in the face about the way things are, or you can, instead of trying to tear down the old system, you just build a new, better one. And so that's
Yep.
why I'm thinking, hey, we're out, right?
Build back
Let's
better.
embrace it. Let's do it, right? Yeah, show the people what is possible. That's why I love seasteading. It's not about burning down government buildings. It's about building new buildings out on the ocean.
Mm-hmm.
Just okay. I don't even want to be held responsible when this whole thing collapses, because I don't want to be around for it.
But then the governments will create terrorist organizations called pirates to go after you, so that then you now need a government to protect you from those pirates.
Yeah, that is. It's always a possibility that they'll say, oh look, we're not happy with just owning land. We're going to own all the oceans. But the more they do that, and the more they push for one world government and the like, the more the average person says, hang on, I can't escape these people. They need there to be a way that you can escape from them in the minds of the public, so that people believe that all of their friends and neighbors are embracing this voluntarily, right? As soon as they say, no, it's a one world government and you don't have any say in it and you can't leave the planet and we're in charge of your life, that's when 50% of people will stand up and say, no, this is bullshit. I'm going to live my own life on my own terms. As long as they believe they have a choice. Like the Wachowski brothers said in The Matrix, as long as people believe that they have a choice, even if it's on a barely conscious level, then they're okay with the programming. They'll accept most people will accept the programming.
Yeah.
And so I think if they then say, okay, you're not just, I mean, a lot of times since I've raised that whole, I don't think maybe people should be in charge of other people, which seems like a fairly humble statement, but apparently makes me an arrogant asshole, according to a lot of the people I grew up with. But they'll say, we don't like it, just leave, right? And I've always said, well, where to, Well, I'm in a Facebook group where we pretend to be staters. So, gee, it's fun. There's, we post memes and that where we're like fully embraced and all that. And one of them was like, hey, if you don't like it, just take off and leave, just if you move out of the cities and all that. And I said, no, I knew some people like that. They were angry with the government. They were, silly children angry with the government. And so they just took off and lived in the woods. Randy and Vicky Weaver said, so I'm sure they've learnt their lesson by now. And, they're lovely people once you get past the ingratitude. I should probably look in on them. Randy and Vicky Weaver were the ones on Ruby Ridge where the feds just made up some rubbish and then
Same with Waco.
Sniper, yeah, exactly. Sniper shot her in the head while she's holding her baby, standing on a doorstep completely unarmed. Sniper shoots her in the head. And these are the people who went off to live in the woods because they didn't love the government. So I guess if they chase us out onto the open seas, then okay, yeah, we're kind of martyred, I guess. There's not much fun there. But then the general public goes, hang on, we really can't escape you people, can we? Like, I want to tell myself that you can, but clearly you can't. And once that happens, then I think that might be there might even be more conducive to a government-free world. So you do your best. But then, if they're chasing us out on the oceans, then they're not chasing us across the blockchains, right? So limited resources. I think if we're just building without them in all sorts of different directions, then eventually something will stick.
Yeah. And there's a lot of them dying off at the moment too, and that's a good thing. So interesting.
What they say, science moves forward one funeral at a time, I think is the saying. So,
archaeology is very much like that. Yeah. You have to wait for a professor to die before you can start presenting theories counter to his theory. Yeah. I imagine most of academia is like that, but archaeology is definitely like that. Yeah. You can only see so far ahead of you, and if you want to see further, you've got to walk further. So, but once if you choose the direction, you keep walking that. As long as you do keep getting new things, then maybe what your original destination just ends up being one stop on the way. It led you to something totally different, which is how life has worked most of the time for me. My reason for doing something is I passed that point because long before then I've got something newer to do. And ideologies, isms, and we've got all of these great theories on paper, but we've never had an actual example of any of them. Group consensus, let's try something totally different. Let's just get rid of the government completely.
Yeah, well, I keep thinking how it's, it would be trivially easy for the governments of the world to say, oh, look, there's a lot of anti-government sentiment at the moment, so we're allocating this island here, big island. We're going to leave it completely alone for 100 years. Anyone who wants to live their life free of government help can go and live on this island, and then just subtly sabotage it or whatever else to make it into a hellscape, and then point to that and say, oh yeah, they tried that and it didn't work, and you guys need us. So I think the only reason that they they haven't done that is realistically that they're not confident they could actually sabotage it. They would have to believe that actually without us they could really do well, and maybe we wouldn't be able to subtly sabotage it. Maybe they would be one step ahead, and perhaps they would end up proving it's too high risk, right? They'd rather just go, just put a lid on it and say, just tell people it would never work without us. But yeah, what you say is true. You can only see as that far, and then you've got to actually start walking. And I've said that to my kids before. I can head off in that direction, but then I'll leave the decision making at that point up to future Matt, because he's more knowledgeable than me, right? He's actually gone in that direction and he understands it better. So rather than deciding for him, which is kind of arrogant in a way, I'm just going to work on becoming him, so that he can then make those decisions. But yeah, it's.
But what you just described as silly. I mean, that's basically regret, and that's what most people do. They've judged themselves on a decision they made 10 years ago without the information that you currently have to judge them. Silly.
Yeah.
And that's a downward spiral. It's not going to go anywhere positive. Yeah.
It's like that Shawshank Redemption when Red's sort of up against the parole board. It's like, who is that kid? I don't know who that kid is. Like, is it even me? Like, is that even? Yeah. So. Yeah, personal growth. Like, and that's too part of the that whole my thinking of putting my hand up to be one of the treasurers for the DAO is you grow in response to taking on responsibility. That Jordan Peterson idea where the more you voluntarily take on responsibility, the more you will grow into that, like gas filling a chamber.
Yeah.
And so why not? I'll put my hand up and I'll based on the field at the moment, I'm not worried about getting a spot, but obviously the responsibility of it is big. Like it's something to take seriously, but it's also something that I think I will grow into, just like being a parent, just like being a husband, just like being a mortgage holder. Buying this house, signing on with the bank to say I'll pay you back for this house. So you grow into your responsibility.
I'll buy 3 houses off you if you can let me keep one.
Yeah. It's a good way of putting it. So, all going well. Any major purchases?
No, I got my last hive power down on Wednesday. Went to the market and the Alric that I was after was gone. And yeah, it was another one other than the one we discussed before. It was 35 BCX, which is exactly what I need. If I combine my level 7 and my level 4, I'm 35 BCX short. And it was a 35 BCX card. It was $75. And I just needed one more hive power down, which happened on Wednesday. And I went there and it's gone. And the rest, the difference, the amount of BCX I'd have to waste with a combination and what I'd be paying for it. So missed out on Alric. So no new purchases.
this is the downside to sentiment turning around, I suppose, is that those rock bottom bargains that you were like. There's a few that I've. Who's the Thorns summoner with in Earth? Gives everyone
I
thorns.
always think of Alistair Crowley. Um,
Oh yeah.
what's his name?
Anyway, him.
Mylor.
And I've only got
Mylor.
Milo Cowling. That's it.
Yeah.
I've only got a couple of BTX, and there are so many opportunities where he'd really go well here. So yeah, part of you sort of thinks, well, I wish the sentiment stayed down so I could just slowly move on all of these different cards that I want. But yeah, look, sentiment turning around would be wonderful for me because I've got a lot of like SPS and land and the like that, even if and only a few gaps in my playing deck. So if we suddenly explode and things are really popular and SPS is at $1, then filling those gaps would be trivial anyway. So at the moment, it's like, without putting more fiat in, which I, probably would be open to be honest, with the prices these low. But without doing that, it's kind of a it's like, do I sell this really cheap asset to buy this other cheap asset, or do I wait till they're both expensive? But we've all got to make our own decisions on that, and where we go and what we do. I keep saying I'm going to retire from battling, but then I look at my guild and I think, we've only just filling enough frays. With all the gold cards are pretty much all just everyone's gold cards are on land because we've always been the tagline of Roaring Twenties is serious investors and casual gamers.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't argue with that persistent benefit of gold foil on land. So I look at our frays and it's just empty gold foil fray after empty gold foil fray down the bottom of the lineup for the brawls, and I think, well, it's still worth it for us to compete. We're generally getting around 4,000 merits per brawl. But it's also, I don't know, it's just, I kind of feel if I move all my alpha cards into land, then I won't even be able to fill the alpha beta fray. And then that's even fewer reasons to continue worrying about brawls and the guild and the like. So, yeah, I don't know. I think us specializing in investing and not being necessarily big players is maybe hurting us in the long term because we're having to pick one over the other, and it's a clear choice for most of us.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if a guild has 100 gold cards and it has 100 plots of land, well, then you go, okay, there's a fairly reasonable chance that they're going to put those 100 gold, collectively, there's 100 gold cards on those 100 plots of land. But if a guild has 100 gold cards and they have 10,000 plots of land, then there's going to be a lot of legendary, magical plots, and those plots get far more benefit from the gold foil cards. So of course that guild is going to put all of their gold foil cards over onto the land because it's so much more lucrative for them compared to the guild that has enough plots of land, right? So it's kind of it would be far more expensive, probably, of all the guilds out there. And I haven't looked closely, but I'm guessing of all the guilds out there, we own like 7% of Praetoria is held by Roaring Twenties members.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say fielding teams in the gold foil phrase would be a higher opportunity cost for us than for pretty much any other guild, right?
Yeah.
Because we've got so many legendary and epic, magical and occupied plots. So yeah, I don't know. It's an interesting way the economics of it works out. And everyone's pretty happy, I think, so far, just plodding along, and throw your hand up if you can. But for me to look at moving all of my cards across into land, including all my alphas, which would be of benefit. At the moment, it's basically just flesh golems and a few duplicates I had.
Yeah.
But moving all of my alpha cards across to land would help me personally, but it would also, I think, cost the guild just that one extra full fray every, I like playing. At some point, you've got to say, hey, look, I'll take a bit of opportunity cost just to continue playing because I like doing it. I like challenging you guys in, when we're recording the podcast. So
yeah,
it's just big decisions, right?
Yeah. Well, on that, shall we? We've got 6 minutes left on the clock. Shall we wrap it up with a challenge?
Let's do it.
All right.
You want to send to me?
Yes.
Looks really nice too. The
new
battle
GUI.
screen.
Yeah.
Hmm. Only 3 days, 14 hours left in the season.
Yes. All right, challenge sent.
There it is. View. Decline. I wish decline was voluntary, but I'm in my mid-40s now, and trust me, decline just happens. Decline just happens, whether you want it to or not. Okay, so we've got 23 mana. Thorns, what's that called? Blood and Sunder. Everyone's got Corrosive Ward. And Silent Summoners, 23 mana. Everything's available except Life and Death. Okay, that's a fairly low stakes game.
It is.
If it's not Life and Death, a low stakes game.
All right. Submitted my team.
As have I.
Okay.
And I'm hoping you went ranged heavy because I've put in 2 headwinds there.
Oh, it's glitching on me. Sorry.
No, you didn't go ranged heavy. You went a lot of melee for a Thorns match,
Yes, I know.
thinking that I would not expect that. That's good.
But you've gone pretty hard there too. But let's just bring up the rules.
I think whether I can tag you with poison or not from my Naga Windmaster is going to matter a lot.
Mm-hmm.
If I can tag you with poison early, then maybe.
Yeah.
You don't have trample on your what's her name? Coastal Sentry. Normally I only use her with trample from Percivalis. But I'm not healing my big fella there, my Wave Brood. I'm not healing him. He's going to get killed fairly quick. I think it's going to be RNG, I reckon. If my Windmaster can poison your Coastal Sentry, then I think it's going to be over fairly quick.
Yeah. And you
But I
haven't.
think your armor's going to go away from Corrosive Ward pretty quick. 2
Yeah.
hits with the double strike, and Corrosive Ward will eat your armor away, and then
And
there's going to be
thorns.
and Thorns. So I kind of feel like my fella there, if he hits, my Relinor Cleaver will clean you up, but there's a good chance he'll miss, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And you haven't got an opportunity, so my Chook and my Torrent Fiend are just going to sit there as well. So I
Yeah.
thought that you'd have some sneak or some opportunity, but you haven't done either.
No,
All right,
look,
look,
I
we've got
mean,
less than 2 minutes, so I'll just press the
yeah,
play button. Oh, he went, yes, that worked out well actually, because his life was down so low, but that's not good. And now Relinor gets Bloodlust. Yeah, no, this is all over.
yeah, nice. Well, that's a fantastic way to round out the show, then, Bob.
Yeah, I guess so. All right, and there it is. Of course, PJ though, but there you
Yeah,
go.
I'm shameless.
All right, so thanks for joining us on episode 120. We will be back next week. Hopefully the whole band will be back together for episode 121. Now we know about that daylight savings. So we will see you next time. Thanks for joining us. Bob Fett, peace out.